Okay, the second derivative of carboxylic acid is acid chloride, or also known as acyl chloride. Okay, so this derivative of carboxylic acid has chlorine ion or chlorine atom instead of hydroxyl hydroxyl group in the carboxylic acid. So this is the carboxylic acid. The hydroxyl group is now replaced with a chlorine atom. So these acid chlorides could be produced from the reaction of carboxylic acid and phosphorus trichloride, or thionyl chloride, SOCl2, or phosphorus pentachloride, so PCl5. So any of these three reacting with carboxylic acid will produce the derivative acid chloride or acyl chlorides. And of course, the side product, if that is phosphorus trichloride, would be phosphoric acid H3PO4. Now, how do we name these acid chlorides? For the common name, we are going to replace the IC acid, okay, of the parent chain with YL chloride. So therefore, this would be, if this is butyric acid, okay, that would be, the IC acid will be removed and it will become butyryl chloride. Butyric acid originally, butyric acid. We are dropping the IC acid and replace it with YL. So therefore, that is butyryl chloride. So we have to name first the parent carboxylic acid and then the last word chloride. Okay. While as for the Iupac naming, you are going again to choose the name of the parent carboxylic acid, but this time you have to drop the IC acid and replace it with OYL chloride. Okay, so we have here the parent chain. This is the parent chain, the long chain of carbon atoms. So this has 5 carbon atoms. Originally, it is pentanoic acid, but since there's the chlorine there, we are going to drop the IC acid and add, rather, OIC acid. We are dropping the OIC acid and then add OYL. So that would be pentanoyl. So that pentanoic acid then become pentanoyl. Of course, the chlorine group is chloride. What is not named on this pentanoyl chloride is this part. So anong pangalan nun? This one is methyl. And the location is on the third carbon atom because the carbonyl group on this carboxylic acid will serve as the reference, or that is the priority. Always this will be the number 1. So numbering it from right to left, the position of the substituent alkyl is on carbon number 3. Hence, this will be named as 3-methyl pentanoyl chloride. Take note, there should be no space in between this name of substituent and the name of the parent chain, and still dashes will be used to separate word from a number. However, the chloride will become a second word such that there should be space in between the chloride and the name of the substituent and the parent chain. Okay? So I will repeat, if that is a common name, you drop the IC acid and then you add YL. plus the word chloride. Drop the IC acid plus the word YL and chloride. Drop for the Iupac, drop the OIC acid plus the word OYL and chloride. Okay? Or pwede rin din naman na both are dropping the IC acid and add YL because may O pa rin din naman yun, and then dadagdagan mo lang din. So, okay lang din na IC acid and then YL chloride. Okay? Now, what are the reactions and properties of this acid chloride? Okay? They are liquids with irritating and unpleasant odor. They are quite reactive and they are usually used in place of carboxylic acids to prepare esters and amides. However, in this reaction, hydrochloric acid molecule instead of water is being produced as a product of condensation. Okay? So, paano daw itong mga reactions na to? The acyl chloride could react with an alcohol. The mechanism is the chlorine ion from the acyl chloride and the hydrogen from the hydroxyl group of the alcohol will form bond to produce the hydrochloric acid. On the other hand, that open part of the alcohol and the acyl chloride will now form bond together to form ester. This is the RO C double bond OR. We're going to discuss this further in the next chapter. Okay, nevertheless, alcohol reacting with acyl chloride will form ester. Ammonia also could react with acyl chloride. Okay, so the mechanism still hydrogen and the chlorine will react together to form hydrochloric acid, and then this part of the ammonia and this part of the acyl chloride will also form bond to produce amide. Again, amide, just like the ester, will be discussed in the next chapter. Okay. Acyl chlorides are also reactive that it is so difficult to store them without decomposition. So, mahirap silang store because they spontaneously react with the moist air. So, acyl chloride reacting with water from the air, water is HOH. Okay, so the chlorine from the acyl chloride will react with the hydrogen from the water to produce the hydrochloric acid, and the remaining is the RC double bond O of the acyl chloride, and the hydroxyl group will form bond to produce the carboxylic acid. So, nako-convert back siya dun sa carboxylic acid parent chain niya if it reacts with water via hydrolysis. So, kaya mahirap siyang i-store. Very reactive.